Alright, welcome back everyone to Dynamotor TCG, and today we're going to be playing a couple games of PTCGO. I've been on Volcanion recently in Standard, so thought we could try a Volcanion list with Fighting Fury Belts. It's almost card for card Dean Nizam's list from Memphis. Basically the strategy of the deck. We start with aggressive power heaters early to power up our board, and it only does 20 there, but you can actually increase the power of that attack by discarding a fire energy using Steam Up. And that allows Power Heater to just use those discarded energy and attach them to the bench, so really effective attack. We're going with 4 Fighting Fury Belts in order to increase the HP, make it harder to take knockouts. Basically turn these baby Volcanions into 170 HP EXs or GXs. And we're also playing 4 Professor's Letter and 3 Energy Retrieval. So Professor's Letter lets you search your deck for up to 2 basic energy, reveal them, and put them into your hand. Then you shuffle your deck afterward. And so we're only playing 12 fire energy. It's a lot compared to some other decks, but compared to Volcanion decks of the past, which played upwards of 15, 16 fire energy, 12 is definitely on the lower side, but we are able to accelerate pretty easily using Professor's Letter and using Energy Retrieval, which is kind of the opposite of Professor's Letter. Rather than getting them from the deck, you just get them out of the discard. So I'm only playing 3. I believe the original list played 4. I replaced that with 1 Field Blower just because otherwise you don't stand a chance against Garbodor. And I found that recently Garbodor has been coming back a little bit. I've played several on the ladder and I've heard some buzz around it. So the last little change, little thing to note, is I'm playing 2 copies of Brooklet Hill in order to get basic water Pokemon out on the bench, which gets Remoraid out. It also gets Volcanion EX out because it's a dual type. And rather than playing 3 Brooklet Hill, I'm playing 1 Nest Ball. And Nest Ball has been one of the best cards in the deck for me. I am able to get out baby Volcanions, that's the main thing, and in the turn when I don't need a baby Volcanion, I can use it just as I would a Brooklet Hill to get out a Remoraid or a Volcax. So that's the list. All the other cards are pretty self-explanatory, so let's jump into a game. I have a League Cup coming up in a couple days, and so I'm thinking about playing Volcanion. I think it's a strong play right now. Gardevoir is kind of going out of favor, and Gardevoir was the main reason Volcanion struggled in the current standard meta. So if I'm playing against Buzzwole Lycanroc, against Zoroark Lycanroc, Zoroark Golisopod, Golisopod Garbodor, I'm happy to see all 4 of those matchups. Now, naturally, they can still win, but I would definitely consider each of those a positive matchup. And we have one of those, it looks like, right here. We're probably playing against Buzzwole Lycanroc. So let's see how the game starts. The general strategy is I just want to be really aggressive with Power Heater at the beginning and try and 2-shot their Buzzwoles. It's not too hard with Power Heater plus 2 to 3 Steam Up plus the belt, but it does definitely help to play Choice Bands, which is one thing I'm playing around with. I'm not playing Choice Band in this list though, so we'll see how it goes. And start Remoraid, that's not ideal, but it's also not the worst starter. I honestly forgot who's going first, so alright, perfect. I'm going first. So it is Buzzwole Lycanroc. He has the Regirock down there. You know, I don't like this hand at all, and I don't want to attach because I'd rather save that for Volcanions or Volcaxes, try and slap a Floatstone on the Remoraid, so I'm just going to end. I think that was alright. We're gonna get the Volcanion down. I'm gonna hold the Nest Ball and the Ultra Ball until next turn. There is a chance that he knocks out this Remoraid, in which case it's not too big of a deal. Oh, okay, so he's not going to be knocking out this Remoraid. But he is going to corner. Alright, well, what I can do in that case is Guzma. So, or, I could Guzma, or I could go for the Octillery, which would negate the effect. Either way, let's start with the Professor's Letter, get 2 energy out, see what's prized. We have our Octillery, we have 2 Volcanions prized, 1 Volt DX. And we have 2 Sycamores in hand, yeah. So those are the only big cards, nothing else too important. So let's get those energy out. We're for sure going to be attaching 1 to Volcanion here. And I think, you know, I think Guzma's the guarantee. Let's go for the Guzma. I think I would have to draw into the Floatstone, which I'm just not certain about. If I had Ultra Balled, gotten the Octillery. So we are going to Nest Ball a Volcanion EX out. One more benefit to playing Nest Ball over Brooklet Hill in that case is that Brooklet Hill doesn't help him. So we see that he still doesn't have a Buzzwole out. So if I had played down Brooklet Hill, that's 1 more out, in a sense, or that is an out for him to get Buzzwole. So we do 50. We wish we had had the belt to get that knockout, but that's how it goes. Next turn we can Ultra Ball Sycamore, whatever we draw, get another Volcanion EX, or maybe get that Octillery, and then Sycamore our hand away. And another Guzma. Is he going to corner again? No, it looks like he's just stalling. Alright, so let's see what we draw here. You know, I was going to go for the Octillery. I think I still will go for the Octillery. But I'm also going to Guzma this turn. So let's evolve up. I'm not too worried about Lycanroc GX. I don't want him to draw into more draw cards, so I'm going to Guzma first, and then Abyssal Hand. Alright. So let's steam up. Do we want to steam up? Yeah, I think we want to steam up once. And then I'm going to attach to this active Volcanion. And Power Heater. And so what I'm thinking with that is I'll attach to the Tapu Lele. Then next turn, if he brings out Regirock to stall, which he hasn't so far, but if he did, I could Guzma out the Guzma out the Rockruff, retreat with Tapu Lele, then Energy Retrieval attach, and Steam Artillery. So as it is now, it appears he's just going to Wild Kick unless he top-decked a Sycamore. So if he does get the Lycan Rock, which is pretty likely, then he will have to go for the GX attack, which I don't mind at all considering he's using the GX attack to take out a one prize attacker. But let's see how the rest of his turn plays out. Oh my gosh. See, this is why I shouldn't film videos soon after I wake up. He's going to evolve into Lycanroc, probably bring out one of the EXs, maybe even Octillery if he thinks I have a bad hand. Oh, no, he's just going... Okay, he's just going for the knockout on the active. I'm totally okay with that. So, I'll bring up Tapu Lele. We can start by benching that Volcanion EX. And let's Brooklet Hill just to see what's in the deck. So we have one more Volcanion, one more Ultra Ball. The odds of hitting those are not very good. So I think, yeah, we're gonna Abyssal Hand first, and then play the N afterward. Fighting Fury Belt here, and then we'll play N. And we could actually end up attacking with Lele this turn. I don't think that's a bad option. And let's see, 20, 40, 60, 80. That would put it up to 90. And it means that if he attaches a strong energy... Oh no, he wouldn't get the knockout anyway. I think I am going to belt the Lele though, just as a card to get out of my hand so I can draw more with Octillery, but also so that I can pretty easily get the knockout next turn, not have to worry so much about Buzzwole. Or if he attacks with the Lycanroc, it means that I'm safe from a 30 snipe later in the game. So this is generally not going pretty well, and that's just because we're not drawing supporters. We've used 2 Sycamore, 2 N already, so that's a bit unfortunate, but we still have a lot of deck to go through. Oh, that was great for us, actually. I don't mind discarding that Volcanion EX, and it allows me to get Brooklet Hill out. It's another card that I can get rid of. Out of my hand so I can draw more with Octillery. So let's see how he finishes out the turn. Does he not have an energy card? If he doesn't have an energy, that makes things a lot better for us. Let's see, what is he? Okay, so he's using Lele. He'll probably get a Sycamore, I'm guessing, off of that. Guzma. Okay, so he's going for the Guzma play. I'm guessing he's going to take out that Octillery. I think that's the smart play. You're not really worried about the Volcanion EXs. Yeah. Max Elixir. Whiffs the Max Elixir. Okay, but he does have Abyssal Hand still. I hadn't noticed if he had Abyssal yet. But if he gets a strong energy, I'd say for sure go in with Buzzwole, but if not, you're still 3-hit KOing the Octillery. I don't know if that is the best move? Interesting. Okay, so we'll start with the Brooklet Hill, and the Field Blower is great. I think we're definitely going to drop both Floatstones there. Then let's Brooklet Hill. We can get out another Volcanion EX just to thin it out of the deck. Let's Steam up once just to get it out of our hand, and then we're going to Abyssal. Perfect, so we drew the Volcanion. We're gonna Energy Retrieval. We haven't attached yet, so I think we're gonna try and Steam up 3 times. Attach to the baby Volcanion and then Sycamore. So we've now steamed up all the times we can. So we'll put these 2 energy back in our hand. I'll attach the 1 here, and then we'll Sycamore. Hope we hit a Floatstone. And there's the Floatstone. We do play 3, so I feel like it's pretty good odds. And Power Heater for 110, which is great. So we can attach 1 there, and 20, 40, 60, 70. Yeah, I guess we'll do the other Volkiex. I can always attach from hand if I plan on attacking with Lele. So now what we have to look at really is where the rest of our prizes are coming from. So we can potentially knock out this Lycanroc, we can potentially knock out the Regirock. That's only 4 prizes, and if he brings out Buzzwole, oh boy. This is a difficult decision, actually, the double parallel coming in clutch. We definitely get rid of that, and we haven't used our Super Rod yet, but I don't want to have 3 Volcanion EX in the discard. I think we have to drop the Tapu Lele, which is not what we want to do, but it's also not the worst thing in the world. It does give us 2 energy in the discard. Oh man, he hits the 3rd Floatstone. He had it in hand. Oh, disgusting. So that means he is probably going to be bringing out Buzzwole this turn. And hitting me with Jet Punch, which will do, if he gets a strong on there, it'll do 60 to the active and 30 to the bench. And then I have a decision to make whether to try and go for a knockout with Guzma or just play it safe, go for the N. So we'll see what he brings up. That parallel was pretty brutal. Parallel's pretty strong against Volcanion, especially when you have board setups like that, where in general I haven't been drawing well. I really want to keep that Octillery. Okay, so he's going to be Jet Punching 40 to the active and 30 to the bench. Yeah, he'll put it on the Octillery. That makes the most sense because that's my draw engine. How many Field Blower has he used? He's played no Field Blower. And I have 1 belt in the discard. So I kind of want to save this Floatstone. So I think the best thing to do right now is to swing into this Buzzwole. Just try and get more cards, more energy. So I'm going to Steam up. I will, after all, I'll attach that Floatstone there, and then we're just going to end. If I had Lilied, I could only get 2 cards. Okay, so this is nice. we get the other Brooklet Hill, and we have all of our Volcanions accounted for, but it does mean that we aren't paralleled anymore, which is the important thing. So now what to do with this last energy? I'm going to Power Heater, put 2 energy there, and that'll do how much? You know, I'm thinking I'll attach it to the active, and I'll attach the Fury Belt to the active, and that way I can threaten a knockout with Steam Artillery next turn. Oh, and that is great for us as well. So I'm going to play that Super Rod. Let's get back 2 Bulk EXs, and we'll get back 1 Volcanion, 1 Volcanion EX, and a Fire Energy. And now we're going to hit Power Heater for 60 damage. But next turn, if I attach that energy active and Steam up once, that is a knockout with Steam Artillery, and it means he has to go through this baby Volcanion for 1 prize. So I am pretty satisfied with that. He doesn't have... oh, and yeah, he scoops. He was not in a good position there. So let's play 1 more game. We're up to a win streak of 6, so that's going well. The biggest thing with Volcanion is just getting that early pressure. If you're able to get the turn 1 Power Heater for 80, 90 damage, that's just so difficult for a lot of decks to deal with. Especially decks that are 2-hit KOing you back, but with GXs. So when we're able to do that with Baby Volcanion, and at the same time power up the rest of our board, does make a really big difference. So we have a pretty crazy start. Are we going first? I honestly missed that. Yes, we are going first. So in that case, no need to bench any of that. And it's another Buzzwole Lycanroc. So I'm going to start with the Professor's Letter. Gives us things that we can discard. Let's also look through our deck. So we have the Remoraid, we have all our Volcanions and Volcanion EXs, only 1 Lele. Oh, he scoops. I guess I was taking a little bit too long with that search. I don't know, I figure he should be used to people taking a while in their first search, but I'll take the points and the coins, and let's try and get 1 more game in there. See if I can get up to 200 coins, buy a pack to finish off the video. Right now they have Heart Gold, Soul Silver. They had the Heart Gold, Soul Silver base set and Unleashed, and now they have Undaunted and Unleashed. So I like started the game basically around Next Destinies when that was released, but at that time Heart Gold, Soul Silver through like Undaunted, Unleashed, Triumphant, they were all still legal. Those are still my favorite artworks and card design that I've experienced playing this game. I just think the cards are so gorgeous. There's a lot of nostalgia for me, so being able to open those packs is really exciting. Like, I pulled a Cleffa the other day, like 30 HP baby Pokemon, but incredible and so cool. So I am going to bench the Volciex here just because I think it's good to get that down on the board if we're going second, because we do want those on the board. So it is nice that our opening hand is going to allow for a turn 1 knockout on this Zorua, assuming he doesn't retreat. We have the belt, we can attach and steam up, and then I can Brooklet Hill for Remoraid, probably, if Octillery's in the deck. Alternatively, we could just do the Volcanion EX. So Zork Lycanroc, arguably the best deck in standard format right now, and maybe in expanded format as well. So just incredibly strong. Lycanroc puts so much pressure on the opponent, especially if they're an evolving deck. So I'm going to get out that Brooklet Hill. Octillery is in the deck, so we're going to go for the Remoraid. So nothing too important prized as of yet. We have a couple supporters prized, and no energy, so I'm okay with that. We're going to steam up once, attach that Fury Belt, and then energy to the active, and then we're just going to Power Heater. Perfect. Ultra Ball off the prizes, which means we can get Octillery or Lele. Probably lean for Octillery, unless he knocks it out with Lycanroc. Definite possibility. But he has a big starting hand. Let's see what he goes for. Gets the Zoroark GX out. So Zoroark GX has that strong trade ability, which lets you discard a card from your hand and draw 2 cards. And you can do that for every Zoroark you have in play. Ooh, see, I don't like this. So Lycanroc GX's ability, and the reason this is such a strong deck is Lycanroc, is it has a Lysander effect with its ability. It lets you bring out any of your opponent's benched Pokemon. So if a Zoroark deck is going first against a setup deck, like Gardevoir, for example, they bench maybe 2-3 Ralts on their first turn, and then you just Lycanroc one of them out, kill it with Zoroark. On their next turn, maybe they evolve one up to Kirlia, maybe they get the Rare Candy Gardevoir turn 2, but you just Lycanroc, Guzma, something else out, kill it, and then they're left with one attacker, and you can just blow it up with Dangerous Rogue GX. So it's a really, really strong deck. I'm not too partial to it in standard. I just don't love how the deck runs. Although, to be fair, I have not played any Zoroark decks in standard at a tournament. I've stuck with Gardevoir and Tapu Bulu. Unfortunately, Tapu Bulu. But Gardevoir's done me pretty well. Up until now, because of the strength and aggression of these Zoroark decks. So that's why I switched over to Volcanion. This new style list with the Professor's Letters, with the energy retrievals, is so strong. I don't know why anyone wasn't playing this before at major tournaments. It really gives you so much like flexibility with your energy. 4 Professor's Letter, even 3 Professor's Letter if you had to drop down to 3. Just gives you so many outs to that turn 1 Power Heater for 80-90 damage. It's really impressive. So I don't think he has used trade yet. He's going to rescue Stretcher, get his Zorua back. So yeah, he's trading this last card in his hand. Single puzzle. See, he attached the double colorless energy before he traded, which sequence-wise I don't agree with. I think you have to get out, or you have to get as much information as possible before you start. Like attaching energy, attaching tools. So I'm going to Ultra Ball, get rid of the Fury Belt and the Fire Energy. And we're going to grab that Octillery. So I'm going to steam up once so we can get a fresh 5 with Octillery. And let's see what we draw. Nothing yet again. Oh, this is really rough so far. Um, I'm not going to bench that Volcanion EX because then he could Guzma and Dangerous Rogue something. So instead, I guess we're just going to attach an energy there and pass the turn. That's really awful. Next turn we will be able to steam up twice, attach a Fury Bell, bench that Volcanion, Abyssal Hand for 3 to 4 cards, but maybe it was better to go for Lele Sycamore and just get the Octillery afterward. Looking back on it, that may have been the stronger play, but that's what testing's for, is to figure out what you need to do, figure out what mistakes you shouldn't be making in tournaments so that you can go in and win those tournaments. So he traded once, discarded a Lele. At this point, Lele's not very useful to him. It'll only be more useful late game. And he discarded an Ultra Ball. So, oh, he has the third Zoroark, so he can trade one more time. And that's the really dangerous part. I mean, every part of this Zoroark Lycanroc deck is dangerous, but the fact that you can draw 6 cards every turn before you even play your supporter. You can draw 6 cards, you can have an essential Guzma effect without playing a supporter, and that is so incredibly strong. So let's see what he does with those 6 cards he drew. At the moment, looks like he's having to make a difficult decision. Attaching to that Rockruff on the bench, another strong energy, which is good, and then he'll just Claw Slash for knockout. Goes down to 4 prizes. So now on our turn. So we're definitely going to bench that. We'll Professor's Letter for 2 energy. And then we're going to, I would say, steam up both of those. Or at least one of them. I don't want to play the Super Rod, but I think I should play it because it gives me one more out. So we're going to shuffle those back in. Going to Brooklet Hill, another Volky-X out. I don't want to put down that 4th bench Pokemon, but at the same time, I kind of need to draw into a supporter this turn, otherwise I think the game is just about up. I'll steam up a second time. Oh, whoops, almost did not Abyssal Hand. That would have been a terrible mistake. And yet again, we don't draw into a single supporter, a single Ultra Ball. So this is tough. I'm going to bench that Volcanion so that I can Power Heater to it. And I also want to attach this energy. We're assuming he's going to get the knockout using Lycanroc, Dangerous Rogue, so I want to spread my energy out. Let's put it on Volcanion, and then we'll Power Heater. So that was a thoroughly disappointing turn. It does bait the Lycanroc play, but I think I'm going to spread it out because I assume he's going for the play anyway. So generally, this is a fairly positive matchup as long as I'm actually drawing supporters, but even decks like Volcanion, so fast and consistent, can break like this. And I did make a mistake early on not playing that Lele, but uh, you know, you live and you learn, and we've still gotten pretty unlucky here. We can hope to draw into it after this next Abyssal, see if we can end him as well, get the knockout on a Lycanroc or a Zoroark. Um, we'd only be able to get the knockout on active, and again, only if we're lucky, but... Hmm. So he is going to trade one more time. We assume he gets an Ultra Ball of Lycanroc GX, uses that Bloodthirsty Eyes ability to bring out one of my Volcanion EXs, and then just take the knockout with the GX move, Dangerous Rogue. So we'll see what he does. He's down to 14 cards in deck and 10 cards in hand, so he almost has half of his remaining cards in his hand. And there's the Ultra Ball. So I'm not sure what took him so long to make that decision, honestly. It seemed like a pretty straightforward move. But good on him for discarding the Bridgets with Zoric's tradability. That's the really nice part of these Zoric decks, is that you play a high Bridget count, so you for sure hit it turn 1. And then after that point, you can just discard him with trade. It's really great trade fodder, so really strong engine overall. It translates over to expanded really well with the Skyfield engine, which actually lets you hit up to 210 damage with Zoroark, so it's no longer a two-shot deck. Okay, so that's kind of nice. Oh, but he's just gonna get the knockout with Claw Slash. Well, I think that pretty much seals it up in that case. My only chance this turn is to end him and take a knockout on this Lycanroc. Alright, so we'll attach that. We're going to fail the Nest Ball because we want to get a Lele. We'll attach this here. Abyssal Hand for 4. So we do have the Lele for N. Okay, let's see, 30, 60, 90. Okay, so we're going to have to go for that. We'll discard those two. We don't really need either of them at this point. So we're so far behind right now that it's almost impossible for us to catch back up. But we'll do our best. Steam up that energy, then Wonder Tag, grab an N, and we can just hope that he doesn't draw another energy, doesn't draw a Guzma. That's about our only chance, which is pretty bad, but you know, that's how it works sometimes. So let's retreat into Volcanion. We can Professor's Letter, grab 2 more energy, steam up the other one, and then I'll attach to that Volcanion a Power Heater. So that's actually where the belts versus the choice bands make a big difference, is in 2-hit KOing Zoroark and Lycanroc. If you're put in an unfortunate spot, you can't get 3 Volcanion EX on the bench, so you can't get 3 Steam Ups. You can't 2-hit KO either of these guys. If he has the Guzma, He has he already attached an energy, I guess, to this Lycanroc, so Guzma's all he needs at this point. He has played 2 Guzma. There's a chance he only plays 2. So let's see, how much damage is he doing? 110, 130, 150 because of that choice band. So he can't knock me out with Claw Slash. But he can Dangerous Rogue. Okay, yeah. Well done. Draws into the Field Blower, get rid of that active, and probably the Float Stone, I assume. It doesn't make sense to get rid of either of the Fury Belts on the benched EXs unless you're going to get rid of them both, because they're identical. I just send up whichever one has the Fury Belt left on it. So he's taken a while to decide. I feel like it's pretty straightforward. With Dangerous Rogue, if I have 4 bench, that's 200 damage, plus the strong energy is 220. And that hits Volcanion EX, even with a Fury Belt, for a knockout. So I think he made a bad decision there. It really doesn't make sense to take off one of the benched Fury Belts. So you might as well make me decide who I'm sending up right away by getting rid of that Float Stone, so I can't just push Octillery active and then go from there. So this time he can Claw Slash for the knockout. So at this point, the game is over. But just for fun, we're gonna take a knockout here. Gets us a couple more points. And we can concede that. Alright, so ending on a bad note there, but at the same time, just showing some of the weaknesses of the Volcanion deck, especially if you are playing Fury Belts. So let's look at that list one more time before the video is up. And thank you all so much for joining me. It really makes a big difference. To me personally, I love making these videos. I'm really glad that I'm starting out on this. I've been playing Pokemon for so many years. Since I was a kid, I've been playing competitively since 2012, and it just brings me so much joy. And to be able to share that with anyone who's watching brings me a lot of joy as well. So I want to thank you so much for that. It really has been a pleasure, and I hope you all will join me for the next video. Alright, bye-bye.